All right, let's get started. Okay, teacher Shaming can get started. Yeah.
Okay, so throughout this course of the webinar, right, if you all have questions, you all can just put down on the chat. Then we will just answer your questions along the way. At the end, there will also be a Q&A session. So you all can stay back and just have a chit chat with us. Okay? Yeah. So this session over here is actually quite casual. We will be sharing with you mainly what's going to happen next, and also mainly some tips that will help you prepare for the secondary school. Okay, so the webinar title is called The Next Chapter, okay, presented by BlueTree Academy, which is us, the secondary branch of BlueTree, right? Okay, so table of contents. First, we are going to go through what's happening now, right? So next, what to look out for, and then share with you some ranking choices. And after you have already sent out your option form, what's going to happen next, right? And to give you shed some light on the Set 1 exam dates that coming. And lastly, some challenges you might face and also some solutions that we can offer, right? Okay, so Teacher Joe, I just want to say, every year when I have P6 class, right? Wow, yesterday is always like very nerve-wracking. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like I know, I trust that my students will do well, but it's just, as teachers, we also become very 紧张, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's D-Day. Yeah. How are y'all yesterday? Children, how do y'all feel yesterday? Were y'all like Teacher Joe and Teacher Shaming? All your conversation good phrases should come. The heart is in your mouth. Your hands feel clammy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Right now I'm pretty sure everyone is like using the website, the school finder, right? To go and check the aggregate score, yeah, and stuff like that. Every student have until next Tuesday, 26th November, 3 p.m. to submit your choices. Okay, so from now until Tuesday, there's around another, I would say around 5 days. Yeah. So just for information, I highly encourage that all students do go and explore and find the open house to attend. Okay, even this weekend, there are still some schools having open house, so do go and check them out. If let's say the open house is really over, you can sometimes check their website. They have actually they call it open house, whereby you can have an open house just via their website, right? Yeah, and also if you want, let's say there's any information about the schools that you all are interested to know, how's the culture like and stuff like that, you can ask Teacher Joe. She confirm know a lot, right? You can ask me and Teacher Nick as well. Yeah. Okay. So in general, just want to say, no matter what results your child has gotten, okay, what we need to celebrate over here is that the fact that they have completed this very important milestone, okay? And honestly, it's not easy. Yeah. So good job, everyone, really. And parents also good job. 真的辛苦了, really.
Yeah. I must give yourself a round of applause, right? This is a very big chapter that we have completed. And yes, we're going on to the next chapter. All right. Okay. Right. I'm sure all of you are thinking of Teacher Joe, so tell me, Teacher Shaming, tell me what are the factors. All right, let's go.
So save your questions, because later the Q&A, we can help you answer them, okay? Yeah, or even if you want, you can ask them now as well. Okay, so if no further ado, then we will just move on first, okay? All right, so just for information, after you have gotten your results, I'm pretty sure some of you will be thinking, oh wow, I got so many options, right? Do I go to G3? Do I try to go for IP school? Should I try SST, right? Because SST is famous for their robotics and their hands-on. Yeah. So throughout the course of 2024, me and Teacher Nicholas, we have compiled the general, this general is not like very specific, but it's the general syllabus for each of the stream. Okay. So as you can see over here, the G3 stream, right? The Set 1 students will do around 8 subjects. G3 basically means you're posting group 3 lah. This is not G3 means G3. G2 is a separate one. I didn't do the G2 syllabus. Okay, so this is the G3 one. So the G3 students will be doing about 8 topics. Okay, we have like the scientific endeavor, physical properties. The bigger topics will be like the element, compound, and mixture. And also light is a very heavy topic as well. Yeah. So this is for science. Okay. But then if you look over to the middle column, which is the IP, you can see, there's a bit more, right? And for information, even if there's more topics, it is still squeezed into 1 year. Yeah. So that's what IP is about. Okay. So in general IP, you can already see that the academic rigor is definitely more compared to the normal G3. Okay. And that's not all, because you still have to consider the fact that your child will be taking more subjects. From the usual 4 subjects, now they will have additional 3 more, right? Which is their history or social study, geography, literature, and stuff like that. Yep. All right. And then for some parents who are interested in SST, so I managed to dig out for my students and my ex-students, right? Those who are in SST. This is their syllabus for year 1. When I saw it, I was really very shocked. Progressively along the years, they tried to squeeze more and more topics into their year 1 and year 2. When I saw it, I was very shocked. They have to complete around 12 topics in 1 year. Okay? That also means that it's almost like 1 topic per month, or even less if you consider the school holidays and stuff like that. Yeah. And clearly some of the topics, like for example, you see number 10, 11, and 12, right? Human transport system, digestion, nutrients, and sexual reproduction, all these actually belongs to Sec 2 topics. Yeah. But they're actually being brought down to the Sec 1 level. Okay. So SSC students often, I'm not saying all, but often I notice that SSC students struggle quite a bit, because the increase in the amount of workload and the things they need to memorize and practice suddenly increase by a lot. Yeah. So they do often try to seek help outside, either via private tuition or go to group tuition settings and stuff like that. Yeah. So I know a lot of parents here would think that IP, SST, all this definitely is better than G3. But I honestly beg to differ. I think ultimately, I would say ultimately everybody's end goal is all the same. It's just 人生有很多条路你可以去选. Yeah. There are many paths you can choose. Okay. It's very important to consider your child's ceiling. Yeah. Whether or not they are prepared to take up this. Yeah. Because they let them make the choice, right? So that if in the end they mess up, they cannot blame you, right?
Parents can always hope to influence, okay? I'm a parent of a P6, I know. Yeah. We always hope we can influence. Okay, but just to put the point across, right? What teacher Shui-Ming is trying to say is we all end up in Rome, all right? We all end up in the same place. How we get there, of course, the journey is important. But I think what he's trying to really say is please consider your child's interest and your child's learning style, because at the end, I mean, yeah, we want our children to be happy people.
Yep. So so let me see if there's any questions. If you don't have questions, then we'll move on to the math one, okay? Okay, no questions, huh? No questions, then move on.
Come, my turn to share. Okay, so I didn't put SST because actually not I would say the big bunch of students actually go to G3, IB and IP lah. So I think maybe you guys will be a bit more interested in the IB one instead of the SST one. Okay, so generally speaking, even though I put 9 some content per se, right? Okay, but you can see that the IP stuff has a lot of bolded one. Okay, so I'm going to explain to you what the bolded one means. So if you're a typical G3 student, you learn all these topics. So I grew them up together, but essentially in the Sec 1 textbook is about 14 chapters. So a typical G3 student learns about 14 chapters in 1 year. Okay, why did I put a star at the statistics 2? Is because there are a few schools that teach the Sec 2 stats in Sec 1. So for example, like MGS. MGS is one of the schools that always like to bring down things from Sec 2. For IB is relatively similar to G3. They also add in stats 1 and 2, which is Sec 1 stats and Sec 2 stats. Okay, but the main difference of IB is the marking scheme is a bit more lenient. For example, the same question in a G3 context could be like 3 marks, but in the IB context, it could be worth like 4 marks. So same type of question, maybe a little bit easier, but in terms of coverage wise, it's a bit wider, but the scoring is a bit more lenient. That is for like your Hwa Chong International, your SOTA, and things like that. Okay, IP is the one. Okay, so you will see that there are a lot of bolded stuff. Okay, for the whole point number 3, which is the whole of algebra, which is what they are going to be learning. You see algebraic identities, fractions, manipulations, simultaneous equations. These are all normal G3 Sec 2 topics. So the Sec 1 learned it straight away when they are first learning algebra. So in terms of how well you must know your algebra, for the Sec 1 IP case is a lot more stuff. It's easily about 4 more chapters just for I would say algebra itself. Okay. Then for point number 6, you see that for IP students, they don't have percentage rates and ratio. They have Pythagoras theorem. Okay, and then for point number 7, they have Sec 2 figures. So they learn Sec 1, Sec 2 figures all in one shot. Okay.
Sorry,
then they also break
question.
down.
Why
Right?
why the IP don't have percentage rates and ratio? I think
Okay, very good question.
yes,
Yeah, okay,
some parents are even curious.
Yeah, I'll get there. Okay. Then they also have inequalities. Okay, so why do they not have percentage rates and ratios? Is it because they don't learn it? Is it because they don't need it? No. The answer is they are expected to know their percentage rates and ratio already when they come into IP school. So all your P5, P6 stuff, right? Rates, ratio, percentage, they won't go through. They will assume that you know what speed is, you know what ratio is, you know what your percentage is. So they won't spend time going through. Of course, some schools might maybe take like one lesson to like recap everything, but you are expected to know because I mean you did in fact do better than the other students. So in terms of demand wise, the school itself would demand a lot more from you all. Okay, yeah. So in terms of IP coverage wise, I could say there are about 18 topics in 1 year. So there's 4 more topics, and also inclusive that they I really think that the kids know a lot more. So this is how much more the IP kid is going to learn. So this is for the math side for year 1 at least. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Any question, children, parents?
How are you excited?
Or are you all like, why so difficult? Why like that?
Yeah, maybe all those DSA is like, should I cancel my DSA? Go and think of another school.
But regardless, right? I
Yeah.
think even though it seems hard, but we have seen students manage well. Yeah. So in fact, it basically means that it's actually manageable. Yeah. But of course, a lot of sacrifices has to be made. Yeah. And
No lah, not true. It depends on the child. Okay. My boy didn't sacrifice anything, I think.
serious.
Okay, we have a question. Yeah.
Oh, you have a question?
Yeah.
All right.
The question. Someone asked, how about English? Would there be more? What? Not my expertise. About English.
Yes. That one I can help. Okay, for English, it depends on the various school. All right. Some schools are also like much more. Like in terms of the number of books to read. A lot of schools tie in literature with the English. So a lot of understanding is required. I would say that the amount of reading is more. Okay, I just want to also point out something because I mean, most of us are G3 here, G2 or G3 students, right? Okay, I just want to point out also something for students and parents. It's actually very possible for your child to if your child has desire to go IB, for example, ACS, okay, it is very open, secret that they actually have they will have 3 classes of IB. Okay, so if you're interested in ACSI, all right, they actually have 3 classes of IB set in set 3. So you can actually get promoted into IB if your results are good at G3. All right. So this is where BlueTree Academy can help you. You know, like why tuition? Some children go for tuition. So you were like, your result very good already. Okay, so those are some of the reasons they want to be promoted. So same thing if you're G2 and then the school has G3, right? So you want to be promoted, all right? So of course you need the expert teachers again to help you, okay? Yeah, Marcus have a question?
Yeah, okay. I think this is for me to answer. So Marcus asks, what is inequalities for IP syllabus? Is there a difference between schools? Okay, so typically inequalities is Sec 2 topic. But for the IP kids, they essentially bring down more topics. So all those things that I quoted, they're actually all the G3 Sec 2 topics. So you can see that the IP actually bring down a lot of Sec 2 stuff. And then eventually they will learn Sec 3 stuff at Sec 2 level. So they'll keep bringing down stuff. So for IP syllabus, is there a difference between schools? Yes, definitely. So for example, if your child is going to RI, Hwa Chong, NJ, TJ, each of these schools have their own ways of teaching. For example, let's say RI believes, oh, I should teach all the algebra stuff first. Then afterwards, I teach all the patterns and stuff. But another school could be like, no, I don't want to teach the algebra first. I want to teach all the other things first. Then I teach algebra eventually. So it depends on the school. So what you see here in the IP syllabus for Sec 1 IP, relatively about the same topics, maybe 3 to 4 topics difference. But because the foundations of your math is still all those topics, right? So you have to learn those first. At which level does it become very, very different? Is usually from Sec 3 onwards, where they will start mixing E-Math, A-Math into all their maths. They'll bring down some JC topics like functions or even APGP. Okay, so no stats for IP. Have stats for IP generally they don't do it in Sec 1 because when they do stats, they want to do the Sec 1, Sec 2, and the Sec 4 stats together. So in the G3 students, they learn stats in Sec 1, in Sec 2, in Sec 4. So they learn it in 3 different parts. But for the IP kids, they learn it all in one shot. So you can see.
Anyway, I think that in short, right, teacher Nicholas is trying to just say that the pace of the learning will be faster, all right? And your child, if is especially those that with 7, 8, 9 score, the AL 7, 8, 9, you may be wondering, should I go G3? Should I go IB? Should I go IP? All right, you are at that range, okay? You can have a word with us, okay? We can, especially if you are, I mean, a lot of you are from BlueTree, we can talk about the learning style. But the thing is, think about your own learning style. Really very, very important. So what teacher Nicholas is trying to say is the content is faster, okay? It's faster. So you can see that when it's faster, there are some expectations of your basic foundation. Yes. Plus, they will expect you to be a disciplined person. So if you think that you're not so disciplined, all right, then you may have a problem later, okay? Okay. Okay, but nonetheless, we're not trying to scare you, all right? If you feel that, look, it excites you, go for it. Okay, Marcus, is very obvious. It excites you, go for it. Okay? Teacher Nicholas will be happy to have you.
Yes. Yes, also congrats to Corey. Hi, I'll see you tomorrow, Corey.
He did very well. Corey, continue with us. Okay, we continue. All right, let's continue. Yeah.
Okay, let's continue, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, of course, this question right now is the things that everyone is discussing right now, right? What to look out for. Okay, so maybe just want to hear from teacher Nicholas first. In general, right? Maybe last time when you were selecting your secondary school, do you still recall like what were you looking out for?
What? Good question. That was so many years ago. I think back then, I think my mom was the one that was deciding. So I think first the main thing was how close is it to our house? Because we didn't have car, right? So it was like I had to travel by myself. So they didn't want to send me. So I think location was one. The second one is also cut-off point. Because my cut-off point back then, I mean in our days, we got 244 out of 300. So I was right at the edge of Bukit Panjang Government High. And then my first choice was that. My second choice was Swiss Cottage because both were near to my house. But eventually we picked Bukit Panjang because that was the closest to my cut-off. So that was how we picked the school. So I think back then we didn't really care about like CCA and culture. I think that wasn't really the focus back then. But I think now a lot more of y'all care, hey, can I go into this CCA if I go to that school? So I think that's something that parents might want to consider. But I think ultimately location is something that you really, really want to put as a priority. So you don't really have to spend like 1.5 hours traveling to wherever that you want.
Then maybe also, can I ask Teacher Joa, as a parent, right, Elena is going to select secondary school, right?
She's going SOTA. You can tell everyone's okay. She's going SOTA.
Oh, you're going SOTA. Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you all come to that decision?
Oh, wait. Sorry. My Zoom pop up something just now for.
Oh, no,
for SOTA is because of her passion in art. I mean, we actually got it through DSA. So that's the second factor parents that you should consider, which is your child's interest, because not all secondary school actually offer the same CCA. And then for your information, CCA can be a very, very important factor to your child. Okay, so some kids get very upset if the CCA is not offered. or like taken away later on. All right. So this is what I also observed in my boy. Okay, he was really very into his CCA. Yeah, so it matters a lot to him. So CCA offering is the next second factor I feel that's important. Yeah. Okay, how about you, teacher Shaming? What were you thinking when it was your turn?
So for me, right, my mom left me to make my own decision. She said as long as I actually think it through properly, then she will just go ahead with whatever I want. So I mean, for me personally, I value, like what teacher Nicholas said, I value location a lot. Because at the point in time, I was trying to be very independent, so I do not want my parents to fetch me. Yeah. So in the end, I chose Catholic High School, just 5 minutes from my house. Yeah. That was the best decision I made in my entire life. Yeah. And it's very
Yeah,
easy
I
because
just yeah. I think it's very important. Parents, I just want to stress on something about time. I know that a lot of us know this. And then you'll probably think like 1 hour is reasonable. It is maybe I put a number to it, okay? I think that any schools that requires 45 minutes of traveling time, it's quite something. All right. So please do think of it carefully because it's 45 minutes to there and then fro. So it's 1.5 hours per day. Set 1, set 2, your child may not feel it. By the time your child is set 3, set 4, your child will certainly feel it. Okay. My boy is set 3. His average day ends at 7:30 p.m. Okay, his average day ends at 7:30 p.m. Okay, my boy. His last period is at 5:45. Finishes at 5:45. So if he didn't choose a school that was nearby, by the time he comes back home, in his word, GG, okay. So because his day is 7:30, he reaches home. Even though 7:30, by the time he reaches home, parents is 8:30. So his dinners are always 9 p.m. My heart ache. Maybe I think the two teachers here are a bit younger. Maybe they think it's okay, very normal. But my heart really ached, okay, because he's only 15, and I felt, well, it's very unreasonable. But that's the reality. Okay, so 45 minutes I think is the maximum. Yeah.
yeah. So regarding that, one thing is when it's near, right, I don't find myself a reason to go any random places after school, It's like, school end already. Okay, the most comfortable place next will just be home. Yeah. So and also the next thing I actually considered a lot was the culture. Yeah. Like personally for me, I felt like I do not want. Okay, my mom was also giving me some hints. She always say things like, "Hey, don't go and go into relationship at such a young age, that kind of stuff." Yeah. So in the end, she said, "Okay, good. Catholic high school is good because it's an all boys school." Yeah. So that's another thing that y'all can consider also because this is related to culture and also the gender, right? Mixed school and single sex school, the environment is really very different. Yeah. The Yeah, I think in general, if this is something quite particular to you, then it can be part of the consideration as well. Yeah.
Yeah. This one, I would say the gender, right, may be more prominent for girls.
Yeah.
Our girls, they general has more preference. They may want a single gender school. Okay, so a lot of research has shown this is research based. A lot of research has shown that when you have a daughter and you put them in a single gender in primary school and secondary school, it works very well in building their self-confidence. There's really a lot of research. But if you have a boy, okay, you can put in a single gender in primary school, but in the secondary school, right, it actually says that the mixed gender may be a better choice, okay? Not to say for all, okay, this is just research, okay? So parents, if you're not sure, then you want to have some like data, this is what I'm providing, okay? But for the girls, right, the single gender, all right, schools, a few things, the confidence is because as you all know, puberty, right? And then the girls, they tend to feel more maybe relaxed, among but boys, I guess maybe it doesn't make any difference. I'm not sure about this. Okay, so this is one. Okay, I have a few questions that came through my phone. All right, some parents, I go through a bit. Okay,
yes.
Parents, the next thing you need to consider, of course, is the value system. This one, I think, is very much like primary school consideration. But the last one I really want to talk about is subject combo, which our two heads can help me. Okay, so you may want to ask the school, what are the subject combos in secondary 3? Because there is a lot of disappointment when the parents and the children found out that the school does not do certain subject combo. I give you an example. Okay, many schools do not allow the children to do A-Math if your child is combined science. All right, a lot of schools actually do not recommend that. So if your child is, let's say, very strong in math and loves math and want to do A-Math but not so good in science, okay, that can come across as very barbaric to your child. Okay, I have even had parents ask, can I write to MP? Cannot, okay? So you need to find out the school's policy about secondary 3 subject combo, okay? Anything to add, my dear?
Yeah, maybe I add on for A-Math, let's say your child is the opposite. Your child absolutely hates math. Okay, there are some schools where even if you fail math at Sec 2, it is compulsory to take A-Math when you go up to Sec 3. So they can't run away from it. So I think it works on both ways lah. Like you have to know which school you're getting yourself into, and then go and find out a bit more from the seniors. Like is it compulsory to take this or compulsory to take that? Then you kind of know whether is this school really what you want to listen to. Sorry, is the school really where you want to go to?
I like to go to open house and ask the current kids point blank. I like to ask them point blank. Can you tell me your subject combo? Yeah, sorry, teacher Chen.
So in general, right, this A-Math thing is really very important because I don't know if your parents know, for you to go JC, right, you most likely you need an A-Math. Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Okay. So the moment you don't have A-Math, your chances of entering JC is like very low, super low. So the other path next is going to be poly and higher NITEC and stuff like that. Yeah.
And also certain poly course need A-Math, our parents. There are certain the choice one, the better ones. So A-Math is actually quite, because some schools will have to take POA or computing.
Yep.
Then you cut your child off straight away from certain choices already. Sorry,
yeah, no worries. Then maybe also one last thing to consider is also I don't know if this is something that parents are particular about, but for my parent, she was quite particular. I still remember, because my family is a Buddhist background. So when I entered Catholic high school, and then when I came back and I told her about the things I do in school, she was a bit turned off. She was like, why the school force you all to do this kind of stuff? Like, you're supposed to be Buddhist, blah, 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 and that kind of stuff. So, but of course, the schools don't force the child to do any of this. Yeah, it's just part of their daily routine and stuff like that. So if let's say you are very particular about all these things, do look for the school that advocates the kind of teaching that you want. Yeah. Okay.
I think that's the religious and value. Yeah, correct.
I think there's a question. School the subject combination is not shown. Yeah, so schools won't list out officially. So I think this is where you need to pull some strings. Go and talk to the kids there, or ask like your friends or like any teacher that knows specifically about these schools. Because I don't think any particular school will officially list out what they are going to do. But if you know students from the school, then you can ask. So like how we get our information is so via the batches of kids that we have taught. So we ask, SGS is like that, MGS is like that, SJI is like that. Then slowly we build our knowledge. But must remember that not the school combination the subject combination that's being offered may differ from year to year. So just because this year they don't have it, doesn't mean the next year or the next 2 years they won't have it. So it's always changing, which is why I don't think they will list it officially in their website. So I think you have to ask through open house.
I just want to add on the subject combo will affect the G2 children more actually. The G2 children, parents, okay? Because of SBB, the subject-based spending, you all know SBB. If your child is in G2, it will affect your child more because the flexibility in the subject, right? Okay, allows your child either to go poly straight in year 4 or have to do one more year. Okay, so you really have to ask the school. Okay, I also wrote there, Google review, Reddit is also a good source. That's how actually I suss out some of the current schools combo. Yeah. Okay, maybe we can carry on. Okay, there are some questions. I'm going to type the answer. Okay, yeah, we can carry on.
Yeah, we can carry on. Okay, so of course the next one is then after you have went through some thoughtful deliberation of all the school choices, right? How do you rank your choice, right? Some parents will want to go via the risky route. Some parents want to go the safety route. So we'll be shedding some light on both choices and telling you the pros and cons on both of them, right? Okay. So I will use persona as example. So over here we have Sarah. Okay. Hi Sarah. Yeah. Sarah is a proud student of BlueTree. She's very hardworking. Okay. Last time from primary school PSLE, from early morning to late night session, she always study in school, go Starbucks, blah blah blah. Blah. Okay. So she stays at MacPherson. So let's take this example. So she stays at MacPherson, right? So her AL score is 9, a total of 9. Okay, and 9 is a very tricky number because a lot of IP schools can't really enter. Yeah. So okay, she got it 9. Okay. So these are the schools that she's considering. And I listed down the 2023 cutoff, and then also the traveling via public transport. So basically by bus or by MRT. Yeah. So if you can take a look, it varies. I have already eliminated those options that require her to travel more than 1 hour. Yeah. But these choices are made together with Sarah and Sarah's parents, right? So for example, SIDA, Tanjong Katong, MGS O-level track, Chongqing High School main, okay, Paya Lebar MGS, okay, and also Geylang Methodist. VJC and NJC is also part of a consideration as well, because she realized that, I got AL9, right? Maybe I can try for VS IP program. Yeah. Okay. So with all these choices, of course, the best thing over here is before you even rank your choices, right? You need to list out all your choices first. Maybe you list out around 10. Okay. But if you don't want to list 10, you can also list out 8. And then from there, then you start ranking your choices. Okay. So the question, of course, is how can I maximize my chances of getting into my desired school? Right? Because there's many criteria when it comes to this. Okay, whether or not you are a Singapore citizen and stuff like that. Okay, so now I'll go on to how you rank. Okay, so let's take a look at the left side first. Okay, so Sarah personally, she really wanted to go MGS because she feels that the culture there is something that she really liked. She went to the open house, she really loved it. The school compound is beautiful. Okay, but the only downside is that there's 2 downsides. Number 1, it is below her cutoff. The cutoff point is below what she gotten, which is AL9. And then the traveling time is far. Okay. Sarah's parents told Sarah that don't worry, I will fetch you to school every time. Okay. But even fetching by car will also take around 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah. Okay. And that's commitment from the parents as well. Okay, so her next option over here is to go VJC, the IP route, because she managed to hit it at cutoff point 9. Yeah, but it's still risky, right? Because this cutoff point, you must understand, is based on last year. We will not know this year's cutoff point one. Yeah, because it always depends on the school's quota. How many students are they accepting? The moment they accept finish, you are being cut off, and that will be the cutoff point. Yeah. Okay, so if in general, if this year's cohort all do very well, then you can clearly see that the cutoff point is going to be even lower now. Okay, yeah.
Maybe
so,
I add on. I add on. Okay, because this one is a quite a common example. Okay, I mean not the marks as in the common example. I mean I'm sure it's on a lot of parents. Okay, this is dragon babies. Parents, dragon babies. Okay, so if you look at the COP in general, okay, there is for the schools that are academically better, all right, academically better schools, there's a general trend of going down. That means harder to get in. Like maybe they were 11, then they become 10. Okay. Then on the other hand is the dragon babies, the competition is there. So you really have to think very wisely. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So the ranking order A, clearly, right, we have put all the more risky and more ambitious choices in the first 3. Okay. I just want to let parents know, doesn't mean that your child gets AL9. It means that they can get in the school that has a cutoff 6 to 9. Okay, this is not a guarantee. Okay, so which is why for Sarah, on her 4th choice, she went for something safer, which is Chongqing High Main, okay, which is from 7 to 10 cutoff point. Okay, and at choice number 5, she even put another safety net, which is Tanjong Katong Girls School, which is from 7 to 13. Okay, but the thing is, you have to consider this also, because right now your Tanjong Katong Girls School, right, you are ranking it at number 5. You are ranking at number 5. So there is also a chance that if, let's say, the TKGS is very popular, then you may not get in. Okay, so it's always a risk. Okay, yeah. Then of course, next one will be the safer one, right? The safer one, Sarah goes for first choice, SIDA, which is 4 to 9. Okay, why she choose that? Because it's very close to her house, 18 minutes, right? Then the second choice, she went for something safer, Chongqing High School Main. And then the third one, she straight away put TKGS. Okay, because this one encompasses a huge range, and then she's well better than the average of the range because she got AL9. Okay, and clearly you can see over here also, she chose all these schools that is quite decently far, not too far, not too near. Okay, it's around like 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, so she's still comfortable with it. Yeah, and then the rest, she just makes sure that it is within the cutoff point. So AL9, then you see CHIJ 6 to 10, PLMGS 8 to 11, and then last one, Geylang Methodist 11 to 14. Yeah. So
May I add on? May I add on? Yeah. Okay, parents. So if you want the safety net, you want to be very, very, very sure, then it's actually the safest to +1. That means you don't look at you cannot even look at like your child got 9 and you look at the cutoff point at 9. Yeah, if you really want to be very, very safe, then your first 2 choices must be +1 or even +2. All right. And the rest of the 3, 4, 5, 6, right, is basically just +3, +4, +5, +6. That's like super duper safe. But if you think that you want to take some risk, okay, then the general guideline is -1. All right, -1. All right, on point. Your choice number 2 is on point. Then the choice number 3 is +1. Choice number 4 is +1 or 2, up to you. And then 5 and 6 is +3, +4. Okay, you have to really, there's 6 choices for a reason. You need to be very, very wise, because if your child don't get into any of the schools, your child will be asked to, the MOE will assign your child to any schools that's the nearest. Yes, they don't. Proximity is not, okay? Proximity is not in the, no, they do not. Yeah, it's not in the consideration. I really need to tell you guys this because I have experienced a few kids last year that were ballot out totally. Okay, one of the kid had a AL8. One of my student, he actually scored AL8 and he completely got ballot out. All right, so he this is like very, very sad, I feel, because his score is very good. His mom basically took a very huge risk. -2, -1, -1 on point, and then I think the last one is +1. But even the +1 also got, yes. I will write down for you guys. Okay, I'll write down for you guys. Okay. I also want to say that this is a very good list that the teachers have done. You can use this, write this hard copy list. The truth is you need to have a hard copy list, and that list will go through changes again and again and again and again. And that's all right, because you're still thinking, okay, and have lots of conversation.
Teacher Joe is extremely right about this. Don't try to think all this in your head. Pen it down. Have version A, version B, version C. So at least you see it's clearer to you. Then you can make better informed choices. Okay, give Teacher Joe a while. She'll write down the +1, -1.
Yeah. This one it works for me. I also want to say, if you want, right, if your child is quite strong-willed, some of our children are like that, right? You get them to write their own list. You ask them to write their list, and you also write your list and try to find the common point.
So that can be
don't fight. Yeah, I was okay with that, but don't fight with your child. Have your own list.
Let me jump in here. I wanted to answer one of the parents' question, which is from Freda. Okay, her question is, if I can't get into the school that I want now because of cut off, what is the probability of an appeal for school transfer? Okay, so I wanted to share this because I just nice had an experience. Okay, like this year. So I had a kid. She came to me, and then the mom told me this. I want my kid to enter IP school, and then she didn't do so well for her PSLE. I think she got like 10. I think so. I think her expected was like below an 8. So she really wanted to go to IP school. So she asked, "Can you help my child enter an IP school?" So what we did was throughout the year, she was doing very, very well. And then eventually her mom went to find the entry exam for MGS and SCGS because eventually she wants to go into IP. So the child went for the the entry exam for MGS and SCGS. So she also asked me to help her on the side. And then eventually she got offered for SCGS interview. Then they went into the interview and then she got it. So now she's going to transfer from her current school to SCGS. So I think is I would say maybe the issue here is not to ask whether your own school can help with the transfer. It's more on I think the parents' end or the students' end to go and find out, oh, does this school have entry exam and when is it? Then you have to go and prepare for it. So I think teacher is saying like if you have tuition to help you, you really really must do like relatively well. Because for my this kid, right, she was scoring almost full marks for every exam like WA1, WA3 was all like almost full marks. So then she got offered to even take the exam and eventually the interview. Lah. So you really must strategize right from the start if you really want to change school to a better school. Lah.
I just want to also add on that a lot of times, right, parents, maybe you feel that, I confirm want to my child to transfer. But guess what? Later on, when your kid has friends and then the school environment is not bad, they may not want to change. Okay, but nonetheless, it's always good to find out the application process, the criteria, and the deadline. The application process, criteria, and deadline. And set 1 transfer, set 2 transfer, very common actually, very common. Set 3, set 4, the schools also will not want you already because very close to O-level, okay? Yeah, all right. Okay, I'm typing already. Okay, maybe we want any questions? Children, parents?
Yeah, there are a few questions actually. Let me see. Someone asked, may I check for this example, why is TKGS at AL13 both schools with AL10 and 11? So I think they're trying to ask why did this child rank TKGS above like CHIJ and PLMGS? Is it like preference?
Yeah, why?
Okay.
Is it preference?
So when I was doing this, I think it's preference. It's about maybe in this case, if you notice, right, we are trying to avoid the Christian school in this sense. I was trying to do a very practical example. Yeah, which is why that's why the Sarah, she went for Chongqing High School because it's more Chinese school. Maybe this family is more of a Chinese background. Yeah.
No, okay. Parents, I want to address this misconception. Please, if your child has been offered the PG3, all right, you cannot appeal to go PG2. Cannot. All right.
Yes.
The stream comes first. You have to think there are other children with PG2. You can snatch place from them. They can box you. Okay. Cannot. All right. I know some of you are maybe 19, 20, and you say, like that, like not much choices. Okay. Let my child go G2. Cannot. Your child is G3. There's a lot of benefits to G3. Are we covering that? The G3? Yes, right. Yeah, maybe we can talk about that later on about G2 and 3, okay? Okay, wait, this based on affiliation. Wow.
Okay,
It
so
depends on yes, teacher Nicholas, yes, please.
Yeah, maybe I answer this question. So I have this child, this kid who asked me, should I go SCGS? So I asked, why you want to go SCGS? So she said, she liked the school. And then she asked me, should she go to the IP route? And I asked her, what is in it for you if you go to the IP route? She said, for SCGS IP, you must go to EJ after your 4 years. And she said, actually, I don't want to go to EJ. And like she said, she didn't like the culture. So I think your choice is very clear, right? So while affiliation helps you, and I think that should be part of where you want to consider, what you want to consider when you are taking the school. But sometimes if the affiliation is like fixed, for example, for SCGS, you really must consider whether you want to go to the IP route. Because sometimes if the affiliation is like fixed, for example, for SCGS, you really must consider whether you want to go to the IP route. So then if you don't want to go to EJ, then I think that's a very clear cut. But if eventually you know that, okay, I want my child to go to NYJC or like this other JC, then it's okay. Then I think that is something that you want to consider right at the get go, because eventually it'll be easier for your child to get into the JC of their choice.
Yeah. Okay, maybe do we have the slide on the G2 to G3? Okay, maybe I answer a few more questions first. Okay, first okay, will you consider affiliation? Oh, you mean the JC, huh? Okay, I would say that if your child is currently doing pretty well academically, all right, and you find that your child is inclined to academic the books, okay, yes, you should really consider JC route. Okay, the other thing that why sometimes I would recommend JC is maybe the child is not sure. You know, not everybody at 16 know where they want to go, what course they want to study, because poly is a very specific course. I have met a lot of children. You ask them, I will ask them, so what do you want to do? What you want to do? They will say, sure, I don't know. Like I finished my O-level first. Yeah, I mean, it's a very legit reason. I mean, legit thing. I mean, at 16, I also didn't know what I want to do. So then they may want to stay in the academic route, JC, because JC is still very on the books. You know, you can think about it 2 years later. Sure, okay. So in that case, then yes, affiliation is really important. SIDA has affiliation, mommy. SIDA is affiliated to VJ. You need to know. So most of the IP schools or the schools with IP, they are affiliated to the JC. Of course, now Chongqing made very, very famous because of NY. Okay, Nanyang, yeah. Okay, I was fast. Yeah, teacher training, yeah. So Nanyang, yeah, I know. But yeah, so these are some of the things. But we also have students who look at the school culture as very important. Okay. Yeah. If your child qualifies for IPR on the result state is G3, they don't write that. Okay, IB they don't write this. Okay. Okay. So if these are some of the factors. Okay, Ken. Any other question? Then we can go on to the G2, G3. Then we can talk a little bit about the subject combo and how it will affect your child poly choice. And
we don't really have fixed slide discussing G2 and G3 because it's not the main agenda for this. Yeah, but we can discuss about it. Yeah.
Do we have that picture?
That picture.
That I shared that one don't have, huh? Okay, let me maybe I can share the one that
You have it now? Do you have it now?
I have it. Yes, I have it. I have it. Yeah. Okay. So parents, I know that this one may sound very like woo, like okay, but then it's really it will affect, okay, because I know you're like, wow, last time not like that, not so complicated, you know, not so okay. It is that complicated because now they want to make it. They put the fight at the secondary school. The truth is, we are still. It's still a very competitive system. All right, they just shift the fight to secondary school. So if you don't choose the secondary school and the stream carefully, later on there may be some regrets. They may be some. I'm not saying for sure. Okay, I'm just yeah. So I for me, you know, maybe because I'm a teacher, I tend to be a bit more scaredy cat in that sense. Okay, so this is the one that I would like to share with parents. Okay, so you can see that if your child is posting group 2, G2, okay, our very privileged students who are in 21 and 22. How many of you are in the blackjack group? Our blackjack group, very lucky one, 21, 22. You can choose G2 or G3. All right, so if you are G2 or G3, can you all see that because of subject-based banding, you may be able to actually take a G3 subject at a higher level. Can y'all see this? Can y'all follow Adam? Can y'all try to follow Adam? Okay. So can y'all see that when Adam goes to SEC, which is O-level, N level, okay, because it's G2, so-called the equivalent N level, okay, for 4 years, equivalent of N level. I'm speaking this because this is the lingo your parents understand. So at year 4, they also need to take exam that is like N level. Okay, and if your child does very well, your child can go to the poly year 1. But can you see that your child cannot go to JC? Your child cannot go to JC. Okay, parents, in order for your child to qualify for JC, your child must have at least 6G3. Is it 6G3, right?
Yeah, 6G3.
Your child must have 6G3. So in short, if you choose the G2 pathway for your child, and your child wants to go JC, your child must take 6G3 at the end. Okay,
Basically, need to promote six subjects.
Yeah, 6 subjects promote. So they can still do it. All right, they can still do it, but it's likely an additional year. And I would say I will just put it across. I think need tuition, okay? Because need to load a lot of content. All right, from Set 3 onwards. Okay. So if you choose G2 for your child, and your child wants, maybe say that, Mommy, I want to go JC, you may want to reconsider. It's going to be very, very hard. It's going to be very, very, very hard. Essentially, if your child goes G2, JC route becomes quite impossible. Okay? Quite impossible. Your child needs to be like the prince, hacking all the thorns to reach the sleeping beauty. Okay? And then must face the dragon and don't know what. Okay? So quite difficult. Yeah. For G2. All right? So parents, take note of this. If your child decides to go for G3, all good. All paths are open. The other thing is, if your child is G2, all right, and your child wants to go Poly Foundation program, your child has to do very, very well. Your child must get 12 points and below. 12 points and below. Okay, and L1R for 12 points and below. That's considered very well. In my experience as a teacher, I've taught for 20 years. I've seen less than 10% of the kids able to do that. In fact, maybe only 1 to 2%. It's very highly likely that they will continue to stay in year 5 to do their O-levels. Okay. Okay, but the good news is for G2 children, all right, there's a lot of flexibility because of SBB, a lot of flexibility. They can choose to do their subject at a higher, more advanced level. They can choose to do it at a lower level. You know, it is a lot of flexibility, all right? And we all know sometimes maybe our kids take a longer time, all right? They're late bloomers. No problem, all good, okay? They can transfer and be promoted to G3. All right. If you want it to be very sure, you know, you say, hey, Teacher Joe, I really want my child to go to G3. Right? Now my child is G2. I know it's okay. I want my child to go G3. Can. Look for Teacher Shaming, Teacher Nicholas. Come and sign up for BlueTree Academy. All right. We will help you to get there. Okay. So but I really want you to see this, parents, because this is from the newspaper from MOE. Okay. So now you know why some kids, they choose G3 schools, even though maybe the school's not so good, because it really opens to all options and pathway. Once your child is in G2, there is a little bit of, I would say, U-turn, but still can get there, still can get there, okay? But your child must, if your child wants JC, then must work very hard, okay, to get there, but can, okay? Okay.
Maybe let me share about G2 to G3 promotion criteria, right?
Yes.
So this year I had 2 Sec 1 kids who were in my math class, and then they were both G2. So I spoke to the parents before they came in, and I said this, look, the point of having a G3 tuition, right, for a G2 kid is solely for them to promote to G3. So I teach you more advanced stuff, so you do really, really well in your G2 exam, and then hopefully you get to promote by WA2. Because there's usually 3 points of internal promotion from G2 to G3. The first point is after WA2. So from my own understanding, the 2 kids that I had was a 75% overall after WA2. So if you achieve 75% and above, then you get to choose to go to G3. The next point of promotion is at the end of the year. So if you do really, really well for the entire year, then you get to also promote. But if you think about it logically speaking, WA1 and 2 will be easier at the end of year. So you should try your best to really do really, really well. So like, for example, for my own students, right, I have this one kid, he's got like AL5 from math. So when he came here, he was like struggling, and then I pushed him. WA1 he got 26 out of 30. WA2 he got 29 out of 30. Then he went to G3 straight away. Like no questions asked, just go. Yeah. The next time that you can get the promote is after your Sec 2 end of year exam. Then they will offer you a Sec 3. Do you want to take the G3 subject? So usually there's about 3 points where you get the promote.
Yeah, maybe I share real example. We currently have 2 interns from poly. We actually have 2 interns from poly, yeah. And okay, I know that there's a lot of people who say, don't worry, poly also can go university. Yes, they can. They definitely can. But when I ask all my interns, right, I feel that the truth out there is still for poly students to go local universities it really feels harder. It really feels harder, okay? And they don't really get the course that they want, I feel. So the interns that I spoke to, right, when I asked them, so where are you heading? And they say, maybe we will work for BlueTree. Of course, I'm happy, right? They are really good girls. But it also makes me feel very sad when I hear that, because they say that don't know where I can go, leh. I think maybe I go SUSS or SIN. You know, like they it's not like oh, yeah, I think I can choose this, I can choose that. It's more like, who wants me, I go. It's very sad for me because they are very good girls, you know. They're also, yeah, whereas the JC kids would be like, I think I'm between NUS and NTU. I'll see what's their offer lor. Yeah, that's really the reality still. Okay. Yeah, brutal as it sounds, is still the reality. Okay. So parents, do think carefully about G2, G3. Yeah, I feel. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's really, really there. Of course, like we say right from the start, all roads end in Rome. All right. And I'm not saying that they cannot get there. They can. But if I think that your child can qualify for G3, please consider carefully. Okay? Consider really carefully.
Okay, we have one question. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. If you choose G3 and cannot perform to the level, what mark school decide to drop to G2? So I think he's asking, like, what is the criteria for you to drop back to G2? I don't think that there is a fixed criteria. I think it depends on the school. But generally, if you fail throughout the entire year, I think that is like a big indicator that maybe you are not as in maybe you might want to take on G2 instead of G3. But usually when that happens, the school will be the one that will reach out. Like, it won't be the parent, hey, I want to drop to G2 because I'm a G3 kid. No, usually the school will advise, I think your child is not suitable at the G2 level. So depending on the school, there's no fixed criteria. Yeah.
On this, right, I have a personal example. So I have a student who was too invested in his badminton. So he didn't really study for WA3. And he was really doing quite badly for WA2. Yeah. The math teacher in charge actually came to talk to the parent to ask whether he would like to do math at G2 level. Yeah. So I think if let's say your child is in the danger zone, your subject teacher I think the subject teacher most likely will be the first point of contact.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I also put forth if your child's not doing very well, right? You don't get to parents. You don't get a say. You do not get a say. It's up to the school. Your child goes G2. Your child what? Yeah. So at the end of the day, study hard. Okay, don't fail. Study hard, don't fail. Yeah. At the end of the day, okay. Yeah. Don't ask all this question. I always tell my kids, don't put me in that position. Just make sure you pass. Yeah, if you feel that you're going to fail, tell mommy earlier, I send you for tuition. That's it. Okay, that's for me. Okay, I'm being very practical here. Yeah, if you feel that parents, please also don't send your child for tuition only when they start failing. You know, it's really like trying to do miracle. Okay, parents, don't do that. Yeah, teacher Nicholas is right. The first checkpoint is usually the WAs, your weighted assessment. Once you see that your child is struggling, okay, don't let them bring you through the journey and say, I will study on my own. I never really study lah. I got too many things. My social life is like too much. Okay, they will tell you all this. Okay, and you have to assess your child carefully. Okay, the truth is your child can't cope. Need tuition. Just go for it. Cannot cope means cannot cope. There's no way around. Okay, just go and get some help already. Because what secondary school is different, parents. There are at least 6 subjects to take care of. Six. Yeah.
I think on this point, right, I am pretty sure some of the students here, I trust that they can cope as well. But sometimes having tuition, right, ensures some consistency in his learning journey. Yeah. And we are almost like 24/7 available. So, every time they got questions to ask or need any consultation, we are always there for the students. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, we move on a bit, okay, because it's almost 9. Yeah. So after you have submitted your choices, then of course it's going to be the December holidays. What's next, right? So during these December holidays, of course, you and your entire family, please go and enjoy yourself first. Okay, have some fun, go enjoy yourself, go overseas if you need. But at the same time, I would recommend that you do not totally not do any work lah. Okay, maybe you can let them read up on some maybe some Set 1 assessment book if you want. Okay, or maybe you can practice some if let's say you believe that they are still weak in certain concept in math back in P6, maybe you can do some brush up, right? But of course, another alternative is to come for our lesson during the holiday. Okay, because BlueTree's academic year we start in December. Yeah. So during December we do actually have classes already. Yeah. So it's like a good head start as well, right? Just to shed some light, okay? This is the exam dates for your Set 1 child next year. Okay? So it's quite scary. Okay? The school starts on the first week of January, and then the first exam is on 10th of February.
Which is after Chinese New Year.
Yes, which is after Chinese New Year, 1 week after Chinese New Year. So literally they only have around 5 weeks of classes, and then they start to have exam. And it will be a mini shock to everyone, because this time around they're going to have exam for almost 7 subjects. Yeah. So is when the reality will start striking. Okay. So I know parents, sometimes you will be like, I want my child to be more independent and stuff like that. But please do really try to monitor their academic progress in school. Okay. Like what Teacher Joe said, do not wait until they snowball too much and then finally come and seek help. At the point in time, sometimes it's a bit too late. And I purposely put the second at the bottom. I also put in the second the Sec 2 exam. Okay, just for information, for Sec 2 students, right? Their streaming exam, which is to determine their subject combi, happens on 5th of October. So it's that period from 5th October to 14th October. So basically, all the hard work that they are putting in Sec 1, it's actually to prepare for their Sec 2 streaming exam. Okay, that's actually the next big thing. And in fact, you want to ask me whether O-level important? No, yes, important. But before you deal with O-level, the thing you need to deal with is your subject combination. And how do you even reach that? That's your Sec 2 streaming exam. Some students that come to BlueTree, actually not some, a lot, they come to BlueTree only in Sec 2. Then their Sec 1 foundation is a bit rubbish. Yeah. But we still try our best. Yeah, but of course, try not to let your child fall into that state.
Yeah, maybe just to add on, the dates here that's being shown is not absolute. Some schools tend to start very early. Some schools tend to do a bit later. So, for example, you have a range of schools. For example, for if your kid is going to IB school, I know for Hwa Chong International, their exams is usually very late. So, I have one student this year. Her final exam was on 30th October. Yeah, so she started a lot later because there was IB. I have another school known to be very disruptive to the topics and the exam dates is SCGS. They love to put they love to put their exam off the WA1 to 4 dates. So they're usually very, very early. So for example, for for WA3, it could be like last week of July. So while the rest are still learning stuff, WA3 finish already. So all these things will I think you need to be mentally prepared. Like, how come my school is so different from the rest? So it's just all over the place right now, lah.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that, sorry, a lot of parents also message me privately, so I try
Oh
to
no.
answer some
Just
questions.
raise it up.
It's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, no. Okay, so I have one quite common question. Yeah, about the parents were asking about sorry, if you are IP, can you drop to G3? No, unlikely. Okay. You cannot transfer school, is unlikely. Yeah, unless, okay, and also I will actually let y'all know that it's very, 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 very really very, very rare, all right, that the child is asked to transfer. But yes, it has happened. But usually due to discipline issue also. Usually it's discipline plus the results. Okay. Then the other question that they ask is then what happens if you cannot catch up in IP? Retain. Likely is they will ask you to repeat the year. Okay. It happens in my boys' school. Yeah. Yeah. So they will ask them to retain. Okay, but usually there's a retest and retain. So again, it's very avoidable. Actually, at the end, this is very avoidable. Okay. It's the same for G3 student. If your child doesn't do well, will the school just drop them to G2? No, there'll be a lot of warning. You will already know. The teachers will call you. You will have the parents meeting session. You will see the marks fail. Yeah, they will call you already. You already know, parents. Okay, just don't think that everything is all right. Okay, what I'm trying to say is, yeah, I know you're tired. You think that, yay, secondary school, let go. Okay, no, okay, you cannot let go totally. You still need to watch them from afar. You still do need watch them from afar. They are only 12. Your kid at set 1 is 12, not 13. Okay, 12. So you still need to keep an eye and then still teach them like the right things and make sure monitor them, make sure that they are doing well. They're going to a new school. Think of it like when they were P1, you were with them. You keep asking them, what do you eat for recess, girl? You got enough money, got make friends or not? How teacher tell you, you understand? It's the same as set 1. The game didn't change. Same thing, you should ask them, well, what do you eat today? Do you manage to buy food? I had a friend, the boy stood at the side of the canteen for 6 months because he couldn't make any friends. He just ate his sandwich that his mom brought for him and stood at the side of the canteen for 6 months. And he did not share with his mother because, yeah, we all think, secondary 1, I don't know how to make friends. Yeah, we think it's no big deal. So when my friend found out, can you imagine how bad she cried? Her boy has no friends for 6 months, okay? So parents, you still have to ask this. It's very heartbreaking to know that if your child goes to a secondary school and not coping, then that's where the teachers here, we will help you. They are like friends to the kids. The kids tell them everything. Okay? So that's where sometimes tuition is not just help with grades, okay? We help with your child. We support your child emotionally, okay? Yeah, we do teach the MGS IP. Yeah, maybe but I think more set 1, set 2 can let us know. Yeah, can get in touch. Yeah, okay. Okay. Any more questions, parents? It's Q&A time.
Wait, still got one more. One small part.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So I know many of the points here we already mentioned just now, but just to sum it up, okay? Please be aware that there will be increased number of subjects. So it's definitely your child will hit the reality will hit them. Wow, I got more homework. Wow, got more subjects. Wow, I got more revision to do. Okay, so I hope on this part, parents sometimes can be a bit more supportive. If let's say you see them struggling, do reach out to them, because sometimes when they are growing up at this age, they struggling. They also don't want to let parents know. Yeah, it's common. Okay, then next thing I want to talk about is time management. Okay, this one really very important. The set 1 is when they start to make new friends. They start to, for some of them, they start to find their own identity in school. Yeah, a lot of social stuff. Then they also start to use Instagram, that kind of stuff, start scrolling and stuff like that. So time management definitely is one. Okay, and on top of that, CCA is more the requirement for CCA is higher. Yeah, some CCA is up to 3 times a week. Yeah, it may even 4 times if let's say nearing the competition period. Okay. Next is discipline. Discipline to tell themselves that exam is coming. Discipline is a very broad thing, but to me, I personally think the basic discipline a student need to have is they need to know when is their exam. This one is very important. Okay, they always it is very helpful if, let's say, they can always print out their exam timetable, paste it on a wall or something like that. Yeah, or even print out the entire semester 1 topic syllabus for every subject and stuff like that. Constant reminder. Okay, so this is what I mean by discipline. I have students who I go up to them and ask them, when is your WA3? Oh, teacher, I don't know. Yeah, it's very common. But how you are taking the exam? How can you not know? Yeah, where's your sense of urgency? Okay, so print out the thing for them. Yeah. Then just now teacher Joe mentioned, right, puberty. So they are changing during this Sec 1 to Sec 4 or even year 1 to year 6, right, for IP students. They will undergo a lot of changes, things like what voice break, then they lose their self-esteem. Yeah, it's very common. I have students, next week I see, how come your voice now like that? Then the whole class will laugh at him. Common. Okay, and sometimes it really affects their self-esteem and stuff like that. Because they're undergoing change. When people are undergoing change, they are just very vulnerable. Yeah. So they need a lot of support, really. Okay. Next is,
and the last person they want to tell are the parents. If parents, you can make it like if you are the first person that they will come to you and tell you, 你很厉害. Yeah, I will tell you, even for me, my son doesn't come to me first. Yeah, okay. He goes to them, I think. He will talk to them. Yeah. Okay, so you will be the least favorite person in your child's life in secondary school. It can be that. Their change is very sudden and very fast. It is like before you know, it happened already. Yeah. Okay, so again, all these things are really things that we witness year after year in all our young adults, and we are telling you that again, you must be aware. Like I say, I know that maybe I'm very intense because I'm a mother of like 2 teens now, but it's really what I have gone through. Yeah, and I'm very grateful that my boy was in very good relationship with the BlueTree teachers, so they really helped me to keep an eye on him. Yeah,
I think one very important thing, right, that both the parents need to have and the students need to have is basically communication. Patience. You need to have the patience so that you all can communicate. The child may be like, stop bothering me, that kind of stuff like that. It definitely hurts as a parent, but the more you use 硬碰硬, they say, like, yeah, how do you say 硬碰硬 in English? Okay, but anyway,
clash them.
Yeah,
are you really so, from Chinese?
Yeah, so yeah, you get what I mean. So if they are very hard and you still go and clash against them, nothing good will come out. Yeah. So sometimes we must learn how to take a step back, communicate more. As long as you speak more to your child, you will realize your child will eventually speak more to you. Yeah. Then you will start having more open communication. Yeah. Then these 4 years, you realize, wow, actually it's not that bad. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, one last thing, CCA. Okay, so the CCA here, you will find that your child will become, there's only two cases. Either your child becomes super invested in their CCA, or their child totally hates their CCA. This is what I observe. Okay, so but for those people who are very invested in their CCA, yes, that's a very good thing. But like I said, once again, time management. Okay. I have many students who invest too much time into CCA, and then they tell me that they will start working hard only in Sec 3 and Sec 4. Yeah, which I find it very scary. Okay.
Cannot. Okay. So parents, thank you for coming in today. So again, we want you to really consider the factors that just now we mentioned. Do make your list, okay, of the different AL system is really, really important. Okay. Because that you are here today, we are very happy, okay, for all of you. So if you are keen to join us, okay, for a trial lesson, Okay, for a trial lesson, please go ahead and text us at 616 0312 961600312, and we'll be very, very happy, all right, to offer your child, okay, trial lessons, okay, in math and science. Okay, so do reach out to us, and I promise it will be very good. Okay, it will be very good. Right, welcome. Oh yay, two younger siblings are in the BlueTree. That's great. That's great. Okay. So yeah, don't worry too much at the end. I know that at the end our job is to worry, I know. But what I'm trying to say is consider these factors logically. All right, make the list, have lots of discussion. You still have 5 days, okay, make good use of it. And please, like teacher Xuan Ming says, go for the open house. It's super important. Any schools that you are in, go for the open house. I got one last tip to share, parents. If you want to go for open house, right, do not drive. Do not drive, okay? I've done it before, I know. If you want to go for open house, parents, go and book a Grab. Go and book a Grab. Okay, you need the Grab. And then after that, the Grab here, Grab there is the best, okay? You will need to run to maybe 3 schools in like 4 hours. It's quite crazy. Gabriel, currently, no, I'm sorry. But hard to say. Maybe we will let you know if we are open. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, everyone.